That data breach at the Target
Another major
company over the
setback for
holidays
Facebook, the
was
social
the
media
biggest
giant
hack
already
of
under
one
fire for
company
not
in
protecting
history.
users' private information is now admitting it's been hacked again.
People have been storing their personal information online since essentially the invention of computers. However, as people begin to store their personal information online, obviously the opportunities for breaches arise. A person's personal information is defined as their first and last name, social security number, driver's license, financial account number, credit and debit card number, and etc. A data breach is the unauthorized acquisition or use of sensitive personal information that creates a risk of identity theft or fraud. These have become a much more pertinent issue in recent years. So, in order to put the citizens of Washington State in control of their data, social media companies must explicitly state what data of the user that they are utilizing at all times with no third parties involved.
Users of social media obviously have many expectations in how their info will be safeguarded. In order to truly find what information people are willing to share, we conducted a survey to ask how willing people are to share certain pieces of their personal information. Our results are as shown. As you can see, most people were unwilling to share their very important information. Duly so, but we encountered mixed results when it came to their birthday and email address. This is most likely because of the fact that with your birthday and email address, hackers can often gain a gateway to getting to you that some are comfortable sharing and others are not. In addition, take Facebook as an example. When Facebook users log into Facebook, they do not know their information is being shared to third parties. This results in their data being obtained and shared to sites they might not want to be. So far, there have been about 300 cases of this. From these dangerous third parties, obvious issues can arise. According to statistics gathered by Microsoft, 66% of the people who use media find that most of their information is found online via a photo of them. 96% of people find their birthday or email address online. This could lead to people hacking into other profiles and creating false data about the user. Not only is this easy for hackers to accomplish, but the outcomes can be devastating. To further gain insight into how social medias can be utilizing their users to gain access to their personal information, we interviewed someone who has been using Facebook for years.
Alright, so I have a few questions for you.
Okay.
So my very first one is, how many years have you had a Facebook account?
I know it's been more than 10 years.
Alright. Alright, so the second question I have is, do you feel like your privacy and personal information is being violated by Facebook?
No, based on from what I've heard, they haven't violated their agreement. Mm-hmm. And I know that they've added more safeguards lately, mm-hmm. but it is up to the user to make sure and be careful about what they do share.
Alright, and then also onto that, like, use like information like your age and like background and to find ads for you.
They do that, and that's part of the deal. I don't pay anything for Facebook, mm-hmm. so they're allowed to, see what I like and show me ads. That's kind of their business. That makes sense to me.
All right. So the third one I have is, like, have you or anyone you known who uses Facebook ever faced like any account breach, like having their information shared or like having it hacked?
I don't know anybody that's had it hacked. I know a couple people have had people create fake accounts that make it look like them.
All right.
So it's kind of a hack, but not really. And I know a couple years ago, I believe Facebook did say that they had accidentally shared some information. That does happen with companies. It's really important for those companies mm-hmm. to constantly review their security policies and make sure their software doesn't allow breaches.
All right. Then the fourth and final one I have is about the recent interview with Congress that Mark Zuckerberg had, and how one congresswoman stated that recently Facebook has allowed users to opt to have their personal information shared with third-party users. And do you support this, or what's your thoughts about it?
Well, I mean, yeah, any app you can read in the guidelines, they might share some of your information.
All right.
I mean, they don't charge us anything for us, so it's up to us to make sure we have the right settings. And they can share general information about me, but they shouldn't be sharing, like super specific information about me. If they know my race, my age, my whether I'm a male or female, I don't really have a problem with that, and what I like and dislike. But yes, it's okay to do that, but it's also up to the user, because I'm getting the service for free, to make sure I don't put anything up there that I don't want anybody to see.
All right.
Is that good?
From this, it becomes clear exactly what people are willing to share publicly. Most are willing to share their name, gender, and race online, but draw the line at more personal things. However, in order to develop analytics into how the users learn about your preferences, social media companies often use more of your sensitive information, which can be leaked or sold to third parties which are under a different contract when it comes to governing your data. In addition, this statistic from the Identity Theft Resource Center is a clear representation of how the number of data breaches have been increasing exponentially in recent years in business, medical, educational, government, and financial related companies. Nonetheless, some may still argue that if more information is required from users by social media companies, then that information could be used to gather intel to fight digital crime and even terrorism to gain an early edge on them. However, current criminals and terrorists take up less than 1% of the population, and we should not compromise the security of the other 99% of the law-abiding people to do this. As you can see, according to Forbes, a global media company focusing on business, investing, technology, entrepreneurship, leadership, and lifestyle, these percentages of people have found these specific instances of their own personal information public online, which is actually quite scary when you think about it. To begin, just in 2019, a multitude of data breaches have already taken place. According to Identity Force, a website and business dedicated to protecting people from identity theft and fraud, many large-scale data breaches have affected various businesses, websites, social media, and even the very successful video game Fortnite. But to be honest, if you still played it, you kinda deserved having your data breached anyways. Knowing this, many serious data breaches have already taken place in 2019. If nothing changes in how Washington State governs people's personal information, any one of you could very well be the next person to have their private information compromised. In addition to social media and how your personal data is being used becoming a much more personal issue over time, how hackers actually break into users' data has also evolved in recent years. Previously, hackers almost primarily access people's sensitive information through online websites, but now they have shifted to sending emails related to social media. In fact, according to research conducted by Verizon, 93% of malware comes from emails using social media to hook the user into clicking. The driving reason as to why this change occurred is that hackers have realized that because more youth have begun to use social media, they can take advantage of this by phishing, the fraudulent practice of sending emails pretending to be from a reputable company or social media in order to induce younger individuals to reveal their information, such as passwords and credit card numbers. Younger individuals who might not yet have good enough judgment to make a clear decision on whether the email is legitimate or not are the ones that end up compromising their own information. In addition, as people become more trusting of how securely their online information is stored online, not only do people store more critical information digitally and have more confidence in what they are willing to share, but hackers also gain more incentive to seize users' personal information. One precaution that can be taken to prevent this would be for social media corporations to only require the information from users that they 100% need to prevent unnecessary and preventable leaks. Although, some may argue that we should be more comfortable sharing more of our information with social media companies because it can be used to protect us, such as if someone were to get lost or kidnapped. than you could be found via your location on something like Snapchat Snap Map. However, the authorities have other ways to locate a lost person without the use of their location having to be shared publicly with anyone who chooses to share it with. In addition, functions like the Snap Map can actually be used against people, as kidnappers could actually use them to locate someone with significant ease. In summary, social media companies need to clearly state to the users exactly what personal information of the users they will need and why, so that the people can make an educated and justified decision on if they are willing or not willing to share their information online with no third parties involved, to truly meet the expectations of the consumers when it comes to their own information, so the chances of a data breach are reduced, and if one were to happen, the repercussions of it would be minimal, to finally put the citizens of Washington State in complete control of their own private information. As a consumer, in order to protect yourself from any potential data breaches or compromising of your own personal data, you can take out your phone right now and open up Snapchat if you have it. Swipe down from the home screen to open up Snap Map. Turn on the settings icon in the top right hand corner and turn on ghost mode and choose until turned off so that others cannot see your location. You can also open your Instagram if you have it. Tap on the profile icon in the bottom right, click on the three lines in the top right, and then on the settings icon in the bottom right. Navigate to the privacy tab and click on account privacy, where you can then make your account private so that only people you choose can see your posts. These are just some of the precautions you can take to protect your own privacy in an ever-changing and ever-evolving online world.